Sports Extra.
Now, apart from the obvious, what do Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Barcelona, Celtic and Maradona all have in common? And now the NFL as well. Carl Fowler, the Opus founder, can explain all. Standing with the Opus book for the NFL and looking forward to it this weekend. Carl, just explain to us what the Opus book is all about.
It's the ultimate testament, in this case with the one we did on Super Bowl, to the history of Super Bowl, the 40 games. And it's very much a photographic-led publication. This one weighs 37 kilos. It's actually the heaviest published sports book in the world. 50% of the photography in here has actually never been seen before, so it's exclusive to the Opus. And it's a one-off, it's a limited edition, 400 copies, all individually hand-signed by the 35 living MVP players.
Well, give us a glimpse, Carl. Let's have a look what's inside.
I'll try my best here.
See if we can talk through one or two of the highlights in there.
As I said, it's very much a photographic-led publication. 3 million photographs were researched over 2 years, just on that element of the research, of which the best 2,000 have gone in. This is a good example, a very iconic picture of Joe Namath, one of the great legends, very much the George Best of American football, if you will, on the beach ahead of Super Bowl in Miami. And when this picture first appeared in Sports Illustrated, very iconic picture, it was always cropped. Here, because of the scale, we're able to show pictures in a different way, and they tell a story in a different way. They become a different picture. And it's also about getting behind the scenes. It's about telling the stories differently and showing the integrity of the sport in question.
How much does it cost to put one of these together?
The budget is very much akin to a small film budget than a book. In this case, we had over 100 people in 6 different countries working for 3 years on the project. So as you can imagine, it's quite an undertaking. But you know, we hope to think that the end results are worth it.
So, if it's taken a small film budget to actually put it together, how much are people actually paying for them, Carl?
Well, the prices start at around £3,000. Super Bowl Opus is on sale for $4,000. But it's interesting, a lot of people that are buying our Opuses are not actually, in addition to fans, they're collectors. A lot of people see them as an investment. We have a lot of buyers that actually ask us to store the Opuses rather than have them delivered. So the range of the reasons why people are buying our Opuses are quite diverse.
You mentioned a little earlier on, before actually we got to talking on camera about the fact that Manchester United, and you'd done one for Manchester United, for that club, and somebody had bought one for an absolutely extortionate amount of money. How much money did one go for?
Well, it was a very special evening this week, Monday night in Dubai. Each Opus we do, and same with Manchester United, is individually hand numbered, and copy number 777, which is a very favoured and lucky number to certain people in Dubai. A purchaser there paid $1.6 million for that particular copy because of the unique nature of the number, which is an extremely generous price to pay, the proceeds of which, I may add, are going to charity.
Incredible, actually, isn't it?
Keep looking through if you can, Carl, for us. We're just picking out the shots as you go through it. But I'm supposing as well that they must be limited in terms of publication of them. Yeah,
here, as I said, the first 400 copies, the MVP edition, limited to 400, and then globally limited to 10,000. Different Opuses have different print runs. And it's the unique nature, it's the exclusivity, the fact that it is limited edition, the fact that we won't be doing any second or third reprints. That's what helps sustain the right price as a collectible.
So these ones that we've talked about already, that Georgie was mentioning, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Barcelona, are they actually sold out, those ones? In the process of. I mean, it's interesting because certainly with Arsenal, with Manchester United and Barcelona, we've had to restrict supply into different countries. So in the case of Manchester United, printing 10,000 copies, we could only allow 500 to go into Japan, even though we had 3 times the amount in terms of demand. It was the fairest and most equitable way of distributing across the world with an iconic club as Manchester United.
How willing are people within the clubs as well to contribute to these, Carl? I mean, how easy are they to work with?
I think that's the key. I mean, you know, if you take again Manchester United, unless we had the support and I mean the emotional support of people like Sir Alex Ferguson, of Sir Bobby Charlton, and everybody at the club, we really couldn't produce one of these. And when we're talking about 50% of the content never been seen before, you can only do that with the full cooperation and beyond the emotional support of everybody involved, and that's key. That's really crucial.
So you presumably have to, sorry George, you have to get right into your subject yourself and the people who are making it, so you get a real feel of what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if again, take Manchester United as an example, we knew we couldn't produce a United opus without something special from Eric Cantona, for instance. And you know, he has a pretty hectic schedule. We had to delay publication for 6 months so that we could do something special and have some very special photography with Eric. But they're the lengths we go to make sure that it is the definitive publication on the subject.
Do you work on just one at one particular time, or do you work on many over a course?
We've got different teams. We usually work on 2 in a year, which is again to do justice to the subject matter. So it's not a question of volume; it's a question of getting it right and making sure it's right, because we only have one chance to get it right.
So just as we leave through our final few pictures, Carl, a real treat this for NFL fans, obviously, but what could be next in the pipeline? What are the treats may you have in store at Opus?
Well, we're just finalising deal with FIFA, so we're going to be producing a World Cup Opus, really special. It's going to be 3 times the size of the one you're seeing here. It's going to be in a trilogy, and we're producing one.
We need Martin Johnson, who's a big NFL fan, to come in and lift that one up.
Martin or David James, exactly. Yeah. So that's really special. And our first opus, not in sport, is with Disney. So we're telling the story differently of Walt Disney and the whole cast of characters there.
Any final pictures you want to show us before we say goodbye?
Well, there's so many. I mean, there's as I said, it's. Again, it's about telling the story of American football
it's just so
differently.
And like you say, you have the scale, don't you? Miami Dolphins against the New York Giants then, Carl, this weekend. Sky Sports 2 HD2 from 3 on Sunday. How big an honour is it to be part of that, the first time that it's come to the UK?
Oh, I think it's massive. I mean, and the fact that it's not an exhibition game, the fact that they're playing for real, the result of this game goes towards Super Bowl. I think everyone's in for a treat at Wembley on Sunday.
Guess you'd have to buy a separate table, wouldn't you, to actually put it on?
It's like girls and their clothes.
Do many people actually do that, Carl? I mean, you're saying that some people actually keep it just in the collection with you as a sort of investment, if you like. But do people actually have them on bookshelves and on display?
For each opus we do, we have a specially designed stand, a table, if you will. A lot of people like to show them off, have them in a boardroom, in the office, or in their den. Or equally, we have a lot of people that like to keep them away and bring it out for special occasions.
Yeah, not with grubby fingers and not around children, probably, as well. Carl, thank you very much. We could go on for hours looking at these pictures. They're wonderful. Thank you very much for your time.
Welcome. Thank you.
OK, now a big night of Champions League football.